Man, oh man, Perla had us on the edge of our seats, but XSET wins 13-8. But Riv, we had some interesting comps, but starting with XSET, a lot of vision. My vision being obstructed. That's why I got the glasses on. Double controller with Bob's Harbor, Katsumi's Astra, the dynamic duo.
Yeah, then they had a great idea to start off, block off B. We see this being the strategy the whole time, and it didn't seem to work. Here, you see them not catching their flank as much. XSET getting the best of a few strategies here, but once they were able to get into position to hold off B, we saw Bob finally using the harbor wall a little bit farther behind. Before, they were giving up too much sight, just allowing generators to take everything up the box and a little bit of hallway, which kind of made them have a double take scenario. You have to take the first part of your wall, and then there was flashes necessary just to take back hall again through the harbor wall. So switching that up, we saw XSET grab some rounds, but the flanks were definitely a bit of a problem here for them.
Yeah, they honestly were. And, you know, obviously looking at the highlights and exactly what broke down in those moments. But again, a map like Pearl, I feel like is super, super forgiving with flanks like these. And the whole reason why is because there's such a wide variety of places where you can commit to something like that. So XSET, you know, not being able to catch that in the first couple of rounds really allowed Tasty and everybody else to just profit off of plays like that.
And I'm so glad we chose to hype up Tasty, like in that pre-show. Although it wasn't the Katsumi duelist, she does like to play Astra on Pearl specifically. But Riv, Tasty had those really awesome flanks and even recruited some friends to come with her, and she looked great on the op.
It had to be done. Like, second half was Chaos Town. Rounds were needed to be grabbed. I think both teams need to clean up that second half of our early game. But you're right. Tasty, definitely someone we have to continue to watch. You need a player that can completely change this game right now, because it seems like at any given time, somebody's going to start popping off. It's tough to really say who it's going to be, because everybody has that chance. The Tasty on the flank this time was really good. We see for Split next time that there will be a Cypher on one of the teams. I want to see pushing on that one too, because if you're not going to have a Sentinel on Split, I want to see a team working all the extremities. So Tasty could be running around again.
But Gomper, someone who's been working the extremities, and especially all of these walls that they had to get through, was the Phoenix choice on Pearl. That was really cool by Bunny B. What did you think about Phoenix on Pearl?
I think the Phoenix coming into the meta for XSET is probably one of the best things to happen here on Pearl. You saw Bunny B. Of course I'm a fan. Listen, I'm an Insta-lock duelist. What can I say? But I love it. I genuinely think Bunny B was such a big factor as to why XSET was able to profit so much as they did, even on the attack. But looking into their defense, right, you saw majority of the time Bunny B playing off of Bob's smokes and allowing those flashes to come through to pop off. Not to mention when you saw smokes actually intertwining with each other, right? Starry Bun or Bob actually making these very, very weird, like, triangles on the site, allowing Bunny B to just hide within them and actually gain a bit more control and that surprise kind of tactic. But it's also so forgiving for Bunny B to play this Phoenix. Bunny B is a very aggressive player, if you guys don't know. Obviously, you got to see it a bit here coming down into this map, but I feel like you didn't see the full extent of it because it is so forgiving. You have those orbs that come up very, very quickly if you farm them, which is a lot easier, by the way, to farm on you know, an area like Pearl. And for Bunny B to do that, for Bunny B to profit like that, especially utilizing that run it back to gain those picks, early information, and also frag out like they continuously do. I mean, it's the best agent for Bunny B, and it's the best agent for everybody else. Let's run the jet out. Let's bring the Phoenix in.
There was just...
You gotta give a little credit up there to Starry. Sorry, to Starry too. She got her revenge kills there. It looked good. There were some rounds there where you know there was a smile on her face.
Harbor wall, and then I'm like knocking my microphone, then you got the Phoenix wall, and then the Astra. It's just so much going on. But I agree with you, Gompers, the run it back, taking the site, also being an independent girl boss and being able to heal yourself on Phoenix when there was a lot of good damage going in, Riv. But going to our next map now, a match point for XSET, we go to Split, and just to present some stats for everyone to keep in mind, this is XSET's pick. Split is a strong map for generators. They won this 13-5 against EG. Lack of initiators, double controller, double duelist. On the other side, XSET One of the very few losses they ever took in GC, it was against Akumu, 16-14, Riv. It was so incredibly close. Are you thinking this is a Generators map 2? But it's XSET's pick, so they're clearly confident.
I know, that's what surprised me coming in here. Looking at the map picks, I was like, no, it's 100% right now for them. I mean, it doesn't mean much in the scheme of things. It's been a few maps. Maybe they played some teams that didn't have a good day on Split, but you still have to recognize that double duelists coming in, and I think XSET do, because XSET also play the double duelists coming into Split. So this could be really like, I always say double initiator is really good for the fakes, but if you can sell a duelist hit onto a site with a bit of initiator utility, you can start rotating your defense or your opponent around the map.
And Compers, I'm excited to get into this. XSET are on match point, but it was so incredibly back and forth, and Supercat was that MVP. Is she gonna continue to be that player that you want to watch for on the Killjoy, or who do you want to highlight before map 2?
Obviously, I think Supercat's going to play amazingly, but I feel like for a team like Generators, you're always seeing different new top frags. You're always seeing different people really shine on certain maps. So quite honestly, it could be Chow. It could be literally anybody else coming down on the board. I feel like this team in itself is just equally skilled, and everybody has their own set of talents. So I'm more so interested to see who is going to be that shining player.
And we're in the lower bracket. There are no second chances. We got 2 more matches yet to go to qualify. In lower bracket, you know, you ain't participating in Series 1 if you ain't making it through. So a lot of weight on the shoulders of the Generators. XSET on match point, and Tanner and Dryad are ready to bring you through it. Let's go check in.
Ooh, the stakes are high, Dryad. You heard Lemon say it there. This could be it. Generators backs against the wall, but a very, very comfortable map in Split. This is one that they took a pretty handsome victory over, again, signed teams, and we'll see if they can do it again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it again, or at least they can push us to a map 3, which of course we all want to see. But on the other side though, XSET, again, a team that's the favorite, has the champions from last year, has a team that has international experience by 2 of the players. Now you're looking forward to having that quote-unquote, I guess, dominant performance when it comes to the match, just being able to close it in 2. And it goes back to the conversation that the coach was having on Twitter. The losing equals learning, and you want to close it out as soon as possible.
Yeah, every loses improve is one, just because it kind of rhymes a little bit. It's one that I like to say. But yeah, there's a lot to learn. Obviously, a lot to take a look at, though. And I think coming into this one, for Generators at the very least, strong names in their own right. But when you look back at that series against Evil Geniuses and you see, okay, whoa, 13-5, and then you look back at the game, and it did not seem like EG was ready for this full force double dive. Very confident in map 1 against them. Generators did not back down basically from anything. So it felt a little bit like Evil Geniuses maybe had underestimated the strengths of this team. And now if you're XSET watching back that VOD, I know Danimal's probably done that hundreds of times, you're not going to make that same mistake that EG did here, especially with Generator starting on the attacking side. This is where you need to nip the aggression in the butt.
You know what is going to be exciting as well is going to be that head-to-head between Katsumi and Tasty. Of course, Tasty last map was playing that Jet. Katsumi was playing in that controller role that we know her for. But now she's trying something different, and she has been doing so in the Open Qualifier, in case you haven't seen her. She's trying this duelist role. She's trying this Jet and this double duelist that is getting pretty common here on Split. You gotta see how the duels between the Rays and the Jets end up looking on this pistol round to start us off.
And it's the Omen Here's the choice. The Omen's here, not the Omen Hears. Although, Omen does hear things. Sorry, I had misspoken. I was trying to correct myself. Either way, the controllers are playing Omen, basically, is what we're getting at.
Also, one of the players I feel like we haven't gotten a chance to talk about is Rise. I remember last year on Viper just had some insane performances in Breeze, and I think on this controller role in general, so cool to see. Gonna be supporting those 2 duelists, the Parlists, and also of course Bob doing the same thing.
Yep. Here's that aggression that we talked about. Rise not part of the equation just yet. Smokes are finally coming on through as Bunny B takes their fight inside elbow, but does not win it out. Tasty ready for the drop. Bob collects one through the smoke. One more out towards the ramps, and it's Starry Bun off roll here on the Cypher, playing something a little different to find a couple of kills for herself and make this one that much more winnable as Katsumi walks away from the fight with 25 HP.
Super low, but so are the players on the other side. A good chance here. 32.
Yeah, Cat first up, Jen first down. Tasty here on the backstab. Both players are there. Just hold down mouse one, but Rise there to deny. Starry now 5 HP, swings the angle and does it again. Another 3K for Starry.
It did it last map. Gonna do it again and to start off. That's great to see for the pistol round. So back. The timing almost good for 2 at the end, but Sarabun is gonna make things easier for her team.
Last player stand.
And I like it. This is all about the mental games at this point. With 2 teams that are just new, still getting used to each other. Depending on that.
No force on the side of XSET. Just a couple of shorties. I don't know what you want to call that.
We've seen some plays throughout the week with the shorties, especially on this map. The map to see them work out. So,
yeah,
gotta be incredibly aware all the time.
The S in split stands for shotguns.
Yeah, that's true. Also split.
Also split. Double entendre there. There's multiple meanings for the S in split as generators promptly try to make their way onto the B site. Katsumi denies the first. Oh no, trigger discipline, but it's only a classic. Rise goes good for one, but Bob does it again with the shorty from map 1 to map 2. And Starry Bun, I believe this would be her 4th 3K between the 2 maps, and we're just getting started here on Split. It is an uphill battle.
And with everybody on the side of XSET playing it together towards main, it's gonna be way harder. The Bulldog, though, is gonna help a little bit more. It's just not giving her any space, any time to work with.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, unfortunately, time of the essence has to get that spike planted. Bob on the backstab, one slow. No, Bob doesn't backstab. Instead dies, and Panday reels it back in. An interesting round where the shorties were the talk of the town for XSET.
That was so close, but it's a thrifty for XSET. Oh, and it's starting again. The back and forth, I can already feel it.
One enemy
I mean, when you have the shorties on the save round, it's just more than able to do so. Really good start from Bob.
Yes.
An insane player, just goes without saying. And Sarabon trying the best in a 1v3, almost made it happen. And now forces the set of generators into six guns. Only a couple classic sheriffs. An aggressive one for it.
Wow. Yep, Bob feeling themselves here, finding those 2 shorty kills, walks forward, finds 2 more Seekers online, Trailblazer used, and generators feeling the pressure here in round 3.
It's so cool to see, though. Last map, we got to see Bob relying a little bit more on the utility for Harbor and just kind of giving that extra support to the team with that kind of composition. But now she's able to show herself a little bit more, go a little bit more aggressive with the Sky and play more by herself. It's definitely working out.
Panday allowed 2 challenges. The first one does go her way. The second, however, does not. The wall to make sure that nobody can be hot on the heels of Jen, but still a difficult situation as this discipline box needs to be fleshed out. Oh, and Honeybee finds the angle at the perfect timing. Looks the satchel away, does so safely. Jen, however, has a bulldog. Couple more sheriff shots. Honeybee still stands with 40 HP. And 30 seconds on the clock here. Where's Jen go with it? Oh, I don't know if you have the time for this.
Should be barely it, and still kind of a risk.
10 seconds left.
Wow.
I don't know if she spotted the two XSET were on that A side. If not, this would have been so risky. It seems like, yeah, Jen knows.
Should hear them both as well. Keeping play paranoia here. Good paint shells. Forces Jen away. Not too sure if the jump was heard. Maybe the heal. The smokes are down. Tap onto the spike. Bunny B just gonna look to stick it. No. Out of ammo. And that should be the round as that spike does get defused. The wires are clipped. And so are the wings of the B. But XSET still take the round.
4 kills for Jen at the end, but not enough for the round, unfortunately, for the set of generators. And again, it started so aggressive. I mean, we get to see it from Bob. We got to highlight her a little bit more.
One enemy remaining.
But these rounds, even from the map number 1, have been so expensive between the two. Turning into 3v3s that we got to see multiple times in Pearl, 1v1s as well, 1v2 like the last one. All about, again, the mind games playing through. Now everybody on this attacking side towards the A side. Bunny B.
Oh, uh-oh. Yeah, I say Panday not in a great spot here. Does get dug out. Bunny B also gonna fall here in this one. Katsumi still not able to find value with that operator in the round just yet. And this is the wall that I wanted to mention, but now we're here. We get to see it in action. A difficult wall to play around as you're retaking the site. You've got a couple of players on top of it and more angles to clear. Let's see how XSET can do it.
It becomes really difficult, so the naps are gonna get used.
The paranoia was so damn good from Rise, and now it's all up to Cat. Awarded the ace and the round.
Absolutely insane for Katsumi, just in time, the ace. And the reaction time. Having the operator knowing they had to use the ultimate to make a difference into the round, and she does it. No hesitation, one by one. They go down. And this is what we wanted to see for Katsumi. We knew that she just got into this duelist role, into this jet role. And wow, what a play. What a round from her.
That wall, Evil Geniuses struggled so hard to deal with that because you have high-lows to worry about. You can't fight through elbow or else you're going to get swung from players on top of the wall. You then try and push onto the site. You have 2 on the wall, 1 right next to it. But the paranoia made none of it matter. Is Tasty going to try and match that same value that Cat found in the round previous? Op goes out, Cat dashes to safety, make it 6 kills in the last 2 rounds.
It's just a change. It's the energy that's going to help so much as well to work with.
Spike planted.
As a spike, though, in the meantime, still going to go down. Daisy trying to do this.
Two players dead, though. Tasty gonna have to get heaps of value with their life alone. Those knives have been expended. Op shots go left, they go right. They're not quite finding their target. Up on top of the wall once more. Shorty there. Tasty holds on. XSET, they've got the player advantage, but the spike, it continues to tick. Finally, the bodies start to drop with a Shorty in hand. Can they match the value of Bob? Tasty just not long for this world. Will dance around inside elbow.
Spike defused.
Eventually falls, and XSET will find a 4th.
Similar to what we saw in map number 1 by XSET, just keeping one player into the A side, playing so far back, and then knowing when they have to back up, go for that retake, go for the 5v5. As they also try enabling Katsumi into that heaven positioning, try to find something, but it's just a team effort at the end. And one thing that you mentioned, right, it's something that, you know, for sure the coach and the entirety of XSET had to be studying is this composition setup the generators had for this post plan with the stage wall. And it's been dealt with so greatly.
And aggression again here from generators. They're not letting off the pedal just yet, and for good reason. Super Cat
I know
Picks themselves up.
where you are.
A great kill with those paint shells. 2 bodies dropped on the side of XSET, and the rest of the defenders, they've also been revealed by that neural theft.
Another plant into this A site. This time around with the early presence. Where's it happening now? They're gonna wait around.
Eyes down.
A lot to worry about, but there's the first. Good paint shells, trying to run her down. Supercat falls. Katsumi, there's no way, right? Picks up a rifle. The player's gonna walk away from the site. One goes down. Tasty makes sure that the round still belongs to Generator.
Katsumi has been positioned pretty far away from this ace, and as X said, they take this time up. It's kind of the point of how the setup is going to change for Katsumi. I mean, playing into this retake, besides all the setup and kind of the positioning that we already talked about for generators, it is also more than anything having this operator in the right place, right time. We've seen teams and players at any VALORANT tournament kind of struggling with this, especially when you're the Jet. You want all the fight to come to you to get that first kill. And for Katsumi, I feel like that is going to be crucial as the team finds that win condition 1 by 1, because generators, they like going towards this A side. It's obviously a lot easier with the composition that they have, the fast pace that they can take.
We'll see what the call is. A couple of operators invested in. Unfortunately, in that last one, Katsumi could not walk away with said operator, so it's Sheriffs into the round. Honeybee does have the showstopper, but not too sure how set up they are to try and make an early play with that one just tucked away in that flower pot.
And slow down. Ideas here that change a little bit, and so does the setup. Again, we wanted to see the change for XSET. They've been kind of living it up to that retake, but because of that, Generators is going to do the exact same thing. Change, go to the B side. And this is where Katsumi has been waiting. What is the Sheriff though?
And this could be a play if Katsumi doesn't get checked. And afraid that the Omen ultimate revealed her position, she dashes away, and unfortunately it's not to safety.
Katsumi goes down. Good opportunity though. You can never be too confident with the eco, with the thrifty rounds that we've seen for both of the teams, especially for XSET. Just having to be so careful. Like, they got Vandals, operators, everybody in their hands. Change once again, gonna come through. Get closer to the A side. Night.
Wow.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, out came the kaboom box, unfortunately muted by Tasty here. More op shots that don't quite land, as that is a classic to eventually get one. This one, damage dealt sure by XSET, but the round so far belonging to Generators. Starry Bun will make sure of that.
There's a thing for that first map between these two teams. It was getting close. It got even in some, I believe it was 2-2 that we found ourselves in. But then it was just XSET always having a lead, whether it was by one round or a couple rounds. It was always the XSET lead. So for Generators, it's a big challenge. It's going to be a big challenge, a big task to be able to turn things around early on. When you are, especially on the attacking side, right? The hardest one on split. You're going to be able to know and have the confidence that this match and this map can be pushed way longer.
Yeah, not done at the half. Our Generators, it really is just getting started for them. Once they find themselves defending Spike sites here. Seekers use nice and early here just to try and confirm the whereabouts of the players for Generator. And I mean, yeah, I guess you could have assumed that there's players mid and players A main.
Okay.
I mean, it's still, though, the timing for the Seekers. I'm not going to reveal too much. Like you said, into the round, nobody up close already kind of committing into the side, so... It'll depend more on... Maybe the Trailblazer as well to clear out the guiding light that once again becomes available.
30 seconds.
The Generators, they go back to this A site.
Yeah, lack of information. Now they know. Oof, beautiful blind. Again, it finds Super Cat a little lost on the site. Tasty deeper than they were expecting. Finds a kill in response, but the trades, they favor XSET for now. As that clock ticks down, Starry Bun will be allowed to plant.
10 seconds left.
And Rise had to push up there, but it was just such a scary positioning to get the last two. So ends up getting taken down 2v3 though. Operator still for the retake.
I
Taken
can't
care
believe
of.
that.
Oh, no way. Chow gonna make things even. 4 kills in 4 rounds now for Generators.
I'm at a loss that the site was not cleared like that. Katsumi just walked forward with the operator. And Chow in the perfect position to punish. That kill on Bunny beat everything. And then Chow closes it out for the 4th. And, well, 4 kills, 4 rounds. We are all tied up, and that was enough to reset the economy, Dryad.
This is exactly what I was talking about, though. For Generators, you want to make things even and take that early lead against XSET. It is kind of the momentum needed for them to push this distance on the attacking side. And they're doing so well. Katsumi, though, still with the blade, still very dangerous. Got an ace last time.
Oh, yeah, that paranoia has been so good. Unfortunately, the rocket a little bit better. Super Cat scoops up the first kill on the round. Panday flash. Katsumi dashes way up high in the sky. It's to no avail. There's just no response to this B site take until Bob eventually gets her hand on it for a second, but not expecting to win this one here. Would have needed the Sheriff ace. Generators will deny, and they'll find themselves the lead.
Oh, it's interesting, though. One of the pieces that needs to be on for this aggression to be effective on both sides, especially for this kind of retake that XSET wanted to run, is of course going to be Bunny B and Super Cat. The two Raze players have tried to get some success with shotguns, with the early passes towards that A side, especially for Bunny B. It has been so difficult.
I think Generators are now realizing that mid has been vacant. XSET have been absent from mid control, so they take that one relatively easy, but maybe lulled into what they're thinking is a false sense of security. Meanwhile, Starry Bun just playing backstab out towards A main. Gets a good bit of chip damage.
This mid to B hasn't even been contested a lot of the times. We know how difficult it can be, and with that space, it gets even harder.
Where is everyone
He goes down.
Yeah, Starry, though, in a tough spot, but she gets herself out of it.
Oh, okay. And the only one there is gonna be Bob to answer, but the number's still benefiting the head of Generators. And the timing here.
Oh, no way! Just like that, XSET, they're back in it. 2 kills go their way, and a player lead, 1 blast pack. Shrouded Step to work with. Those paranoias have been so good from Rise. Now the high ground from Panday. Slowly but surely, Bob should be making her way onto the side as well. Chow's been dealt with. Super Cat gonna try and dig themselves out of the situation. Just not enough. That right there, I mean, that is a round. That is a round of all time. That is a round of the series. That's a round that I guess we expect now from Generators and XSET.
At least the buy was a little bit better for XSET. It wasn't just the Sheriffs winning that round. But yeah, so back and forth, and I think this is something that has to feel good for XSET because they've been really struggling, even with the early lead with the 5v4s, with the 5v3s, to be able to close it out. And it's not only them, I think in general, because so many of these teams, the majority of these teams are new and still adapting to each other. You want to make sure that communication is getting stronger and stronger, and it's better. So turning things around, something that XSET has to be feeling proud of. As Bob, so aggressive here. This is what I talked about. Bob now able to play a little bit more by herself. A little bit more of those individual plays, but doesn't spot anything just yet. They do see her though.
Yeah, Generators know Bob is there just as much as Bob knows. There's a few players out towards mid. Trailblazer will confirm. And the spike is on a solo mission on the wrong side of the map. It does look like they'll be taking the long way around, that being Jen, and they do so just in time. Look at the defense, right? Pushing through B main. It could have been a scary outcome.
Gonna depend again so much on Bunny B. The first one to make contact, and the Cypher Yuto is gonna make it a little bit easier. Gets one, even blinded.
Wow, Bunny B still going. Two inside the Cloudburst. Joined Tasty there for a date, and unfortunately sends Tasty packing. Kicks them out of their own home, just like Generators have done here. The defense, they hunker down on the A site for as long as they could, but they've all been dealt with. Now it's Rise and Katsumi here on the rotate.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, Katsumi doesn't clear the corner.
Wow, and you know, we talked about...
Switch.
I'm doing air quotes. Chat, you can't see it. We talked about quote-unquote grudge match, right? For Starry Bun in this XSET squad. How about Rise and Chow, who are former teammates, and they've both had so much impact individually. You look at Rise and you see 4-11, but the paranoias that Rise has been landing that's allowing XSET in some of these retakes to actually retake successfully have been insane. And Chow, obviously 887 in their own right, but finding those 2 kills right at the end. I mean, the impact is there, and that's Generators 1 round the lead, and they're queued up to find a 7-5 half here.
And it's so cool as we see the beginning of this era for game changers in North America, and everybody here, I mean, for the majority of these players having history with each other, knowing each other, being in the same team, being in the same org, just knowing each other well. So it's the matchup and how it plays out, kind of applying everything into it. And for XSET now, not having the lead, something that they haven't experienced before in this match.
Chow dealt with. Bob finds an early kill to slow down the double dive. Now just a single dive, and Tasty is headed for the hills. Does not want any of that action.
This is something that I really like about Generators. They get that
30 seconds left.
kind of early contest into the side that they plan to go, and it's that immediate call. There's no hesitation. Everybody fully committing to the swap, to the change. But it's gonna be caught off guard for Bunny B.
Yeah, and Starry Bun's deep behind enemy lines here. The defender's also taken ripped from the site by Tasty and friends. This right here is a Generators round unless Bob Katsumi can do something heroic, and Starry Bun wasn't quite ready for the third. Instead, it's Jen to find the next kill, and Katsumi left to try and pick up the pieces. 3 kills and a defuse to be had with 54 HP. So close to the first, finds them both. The reload just in time, and now it's the Jet duel with 1 HP. Katsumi loses it out, and Generators secure a 7-5 half.
Put some damage into Tasty, but not enough to take them down. As they have ends up benefiting the side of Generators by 2 rounds, 7-5. And what a change as well from that map number 1 from XSET.
Yes.
When it comes to the individual performances here, every single one obviously kind of enable in their own way, but again, it feels like
Oh, this is a nice spot.
it comes down to Bob. The amount of first kills that Bob has gotten, absolutely insane. You're just depending on that conversion to go the way of XSET. Things are gonna go the other way. If not, Generators could be taking this map number 2.
I want to shine some light on Starry Bun as well.
So good.
I want to say quietly finding value, but it hasn't been very quiet. 3K early in the game. Finding early picks for the team. Really finding value out of that lurk. Kind of playing that same role that Panday did. Much as Panday did on Pearl. Now on defense, it's a little scarier to push out and lurk by yourself. So we see this Cypher hunkered down out towards B. Trapwires. Set up there's Jen. Light Shield's a classic with the Sage Wall available here in the first round.
Hawk out!
One of the things that we talked about was that Jet also being in the right position. You're going to be way more enabling for Cat to meet in a half like this one. Still a long way to go, though, in the pistol. Gonna get...
Yeah, and Katsumi reborn here on the duelist. Super Cat forced away. Paint shells for paint shells, and that's allowed for some space to be taken. Super Cat wants to grab it back, but Bunny B there to deny. Now the defenders here on the A site are starting to find their value as all 3 of them have crept their way together and look to play strength in numbers, and it's all up to Starry Bun again, but she falls short this time around.
It's been so many scenarios like that one for Starry Bun. So many of them, and at least half of them she's been able to come up on top. But obviously the pistol round, different story. So 50-50 between the two. And XSET with a chance to make things even. In the map number 1, in that second half, Generators, they went for that force. But for this one, it's not gonna be the case. Not gonna be a gamble into sight either, but just trying to meet the aggression by the 2 duelists.
They get the information with that flash. They confirm it with the Trailblazer. Now they take the space just behind it. Caught with a nade out. Super Cat punished early.
Oh, I love seeing Bunny B here. Tasty. Scary position. Can't go for the swing, but of course, the Trapwire making it difficult. The smoke goes down. Perfect opportunity to take care of that Jet.
In Peekaboo, but Horror Edition with 2 players on the other side. Jen good for their one with the classic, but 4 players still stand for the side of XSET. Starry Bun. Very tall task.
Gonna get spotted early on, and we've seen this kind of angle. You're expecting maybe a swing here before trying to shut down the Trapwire, but with the time, with the 4 players alive, essentially impossible for the Cypher to take care of it this round. So XSET should be getting 2-7 rounds, and things are gonna be tied up again.
That Rise maybe spotted Starry Bun there, but not the case. Trapwire taken down. Spike flows. Starry Bun follows suit, and XSET have tied us up at 7, but finally Generators will be allowed to play the game with the full buy coming into this one.
This is where it gets really interesting between the 2. That reinvestment for that 1 player that went down, everybody else still managing to keep their Spectres. And it's kind of a change as well for Bunny B, that it was very much needed on the defense, not finding too much success, going for those aggression picks even after Katsumi got taken down. But now she's able to kind of take that initiative, and it's looking better. And in a round like this one, you want it to once again be successful, but having to be extremely careful. A Cypher setup is going to make it hard.
Yeah, all set up here. Trailblazer, though, gonna do good to get half of the Trapwires down. Second half, we for the player that looks to overextend. This cam gets lots of value. 3 players spotted. Still options, though. It does look like XSET have set their eyes on this A site. Out from the blast packs, player spotted. Blinded up again by Rise, but the kills, they go the way of the defense for now with Starry Bun. Dances around the side here on the site. Tasty's down. Sorry, Bud picks up 2, make it 3.
Spike down
As
A.
Jen will find the 4th on the round, and Panday now has to try and get it done. With a Spectre, no Spike, and 3 defenders to worry about.
Done. Gonna take care of it just fine with the rifles, and again, Starybun with it. 3 kills, holding into that backside, not letting go, and gets 3 before the round is over. What a performance that we're seeing from her as well. And again, she has qualified for the main event last year, has made it through before.
This
A
is a nice
completely
one.
different team though. I think we already knew her
goes
individual performance, but I think it's great to see her shining so much again.
And the flexibility and role selection
Just
from
everything.
Yeah, controller player to initiator player to sentinel player here on the Cypher. Really showing the value to her team and any team for that matters. We jump into the next round, round 16, and Rise is hanging on to the silly gun. Rise only has a stinger in this one.
Can be a little bit scary, but gotta see if it ends up going that way. This mid to B is not something that got contested early on, especially even towards ropes by generators when they were on the attacking side. So all that space now belongs to XSET.
And not a whole lot of contention. The defenders valuing more just playing on the site and forcing XSET to take it from them.
30
Giving up the
seconds
space
left.
elsewhere. This is scary though. Katsumi up into heaven, completely uncontested with Bunny in tow.
20 seconds.
And they do have to make a decision here. Spike has to find its way on. The bullets, they get crazy for just a second. Sorry, Bun reels it in. Now Tasty next up to try and
10
be dug out.
seconds left.
Rise will do so. With 10 seconds, Bob will finally get that spike planted. So it was close in way of the clock, but it's now working against generators. The 2v2, though, Seekers reveal both players just on the other side of the dark cover, and Bob wants to get aggressive. Are they
player
expecting
standing.
it? It doesn't matter. Jen wins the duel. Rise will do the same, mimic
remaining.
the play as the heal was there, but the kills are not. Then Super Cat takes the round for generators.
Oh, no way. It was so risky for Spike to be planted. Again, this slow play from XSET.
Team Ace.
Barely having any time to get the spike planted and then committing to the Seekers right behind screens. I mean, it was a dangerous move by Bob. Gets her the 1 kill, but that 1v1 just didn't go the way of XSET. Generators looking good.
This should do.
Looking like they have the potential to win this second map, and it wouldn't even be surprising. They played this map a couple times,
This is
and this is where they look the strongest against those teams like Evil Geniuses.
A 2-round lead shaping up to be a 3-round lead unless the Sheriffs and the Spectre can get something done. Meanwhile, Tasty's got the boomstick.
The deep wall as well. XSET just gonna break it back up. Keep this defense so aware of where the play might be coming from. Although Spike has been slowly pushing on this A side. First one to make contact here. Super Cat. The Cypher utility changes a little bit more, so it's not gonna be up close. It's not taken down by the Trailblazer again. Grenade!
And Bob allowed to cross. Paint shells. Out. Boombot follows. Bob stuck in the Trailblazer, falls to that utility. Wow. Wow. Starry keeps doing it. Starry keeps doing it. 3 for the reload. Katsumi forced to reload themselves. Low in HP. Now no in HP. As generators, Starry Bun clean it all up.
We talked about it. Right place, right time. But not even for the Jet anymore. It is for this Cypher, for Cerebon to do it over and over again. I think more multi-kills from her than we've seen anybody else. And I think everybody from the side of Generators have had their moments, but this Cypher all the way on top. Like I said, gonna take a timeout. And down by a couple rounds. This is what I meant, and this is what we wanted to see from Generators. We know they are gonna make it close. We know they're gonna make it a strong fight against a team like XSET. But that early lead had to be everything, and they did that. And they kept winning rounds. They just won one of the biggest rounds as well to secure the disc.
Yeah. Admittedly, it was an eco round, but still a 3-round lead. So this a pivotal timeout for XSET to try and stop this reign of terror that has been 3 rounds in a row. Super Cat.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
Well, a boomstick of their own, not the operator, but the showstopper available. Jen also with that resurrection. I would argue 2 ultimates that heavily favor or are in favor of Generators versus the 2 on the other side for XSET. It's only a From the Shadows and a neural tap.
The double satchel to get that forward position, also potentially try to get a kill. And this is something that Bunny has attempted to do, just hasn't gone her way. At least they're able to hold a little bit more of that map control for XSET. And the operator's gonna get spotted.
And an agreement there. Everybody walks away from it. The op shot was missed, the 1 tap was missed, and we wipe our hands of whatever happened out towards mid. I actually completely forgot about it already. We go back to the round with 50 seconds on the clock. Chow getting aggressive here underneath Heaven.
The Cypher again, gonna be dangerous. The Cypher and the Omen. Towards his A side. And XSET, I mean, the entirety of Generators, they know this positioning from XSET. They know how slow the execute ends up looking like. So they're comfortable waiting around just a little bit
30
longer.
seconds left. Spike down.
That op shot did not miss. Chow not giving up the position just yet. Another op shot to find its mark. Now Rise and Panday make it. Just Rise will need to live up to the namesake. Rise to the occasion here in a 1v4 and is only good for 1. Generators do it once more. An 11th picked up and a reset onto XSET's economy.
Again, a reset, and the last one maybe that you can't afford to happen. If not, Generators are gonna get away with this map, and look at that, 4 ultimates available. Mainly looking at the Raze Super Cat going aggressive towards his B site.
Get out of my way!
Bunny B trying to do the same again.
Oh, Fitz quick, Bunny B. Hoping to creep up that kill feed. Knives are online as well. Paint shells out. Boombot saw on the other side. The base will drop, but nobody in the vicinity. So 2-for-1 trade this far. Both Thulis stripped from the server here for XSET. Oh, Panday. Oh, Panday. Oh, Panday. No,
No
not
way.
like this. Doesn't see the first player. Can't kill the next. And with that, Tasty makes good on this promise. Defies death. And gets a couple of kills because of it.
Match point.
And we talked about Generators being an underdog for a reason. We talked about their split for a reason. It's just so strong. Now 1 away from taking a map away from XSET. In a team that is so new, but with very experienced players that we got to see over and over again on those main events of Game Changers. And the last buy again for XSET. The last attempt to keep this map alive.
And from Bunny B to Funny B at the start of that round, unfortunately wasting. A blast pack will now be first to contact here. Supercat spotted Jen to back them up. Players inside heaven. Another good paranoia. Let's see if they can't capitalize on it. Up atop the wall. Bunny B gets on the other side. Who was on a solo mission for just a moment, but they cut it down. They break through, and Katsumi will find the trade.
Good start. But it's still a 4v3. Things can still wrong. You have to be so careful for XSET. 1 minute remaining. And this is why up close, Chow taking that rise.
Chow finds former teammate Paranoias and backs away from it all. From the shadows used to reposition out towards mid, but it was spotted by Panday. So was Katsumi. Starry Bun falls to the Cypher of Generators. And just like that, we're even.
Miss Bob has had a good map.
I've got your trail.
It's up to her here to try to make it different. Up close, the Seeker's gonna get invested too.
The Seeker's used just to secure this one. No better time.
Last player
Low HP
standing.
onto both. Bob won't land the shot. Starry Bun and Chow lined up to take this map. Panday
I must wait.
creeps around. Camera found. Player spotted. Spike,
enemy
a
remaining.
tap. The first frag comes through. Smokes are down, and on the other side is Chow. Can they do it again as Panday plays the time, understanding the situation, and might have just done it perfectly. One more tap, but there's no time. Chow will find the kill, but XSET hang on.
XSET, they get to live another day for the other Red Bull clutch. It's still, though, everybody got taken down. And that was the biggest risk, the biggest factor, because the economy for XSET, it's been so shaky on the second half.
One enemy remaining.
Really struggling to find value against Erebon, against Tasty on the jet. So that means Light,
Yes, this should do.
a Guardian as well for Rise, and another attempt, another round they get to live.
And Panday,
Eyes down.
like Frieza, now unfortunately deceased. Like Frieza. Early in this one, that is Caster Curse right to fruition. Jen plays the off angle. Thorb comes out. Doesn't matter. Jen's still finding the kills. Katsumi only able to grab one in this situation. Needs to back away with 31 HP. It's barely a full health bar between the two players still alive here for XSET Dryad.
Oh, it's so low, especially for Katsumi. As Chow goes down, just answering right back from the last round. There's still a chance. 3v2 on the board.
Last player standing.
Still a chance, but
Spike down,
it gets a
B.
whole lot slimmer. Another great paranoia that lands on the mark. But Rise needs to step into danger to grab the
Defenders
spike, and
win.
Tasty will punish. This one goes the way of Generators, and we're awarded a map 3.
We're gonna go to that map number 3, and it was really back and forth between the two teams on the first half, but the second, it was all about Starybun and it was all about Generators, always having control and making sure that those mistakes as well that they get, and they did in the first map, kind of losing the stronger buys and kind of making those small mistakes into the numbers advantage would not happen again. And Generators, really good adaptation as well towards the end. And again, this is the underdog team. I don't think this is surprising at all. XSET as well, obviously really strong players, but have struggled in the 4 matches, without counting this one that they played so far. 2 of them have gone all the way to 3 maps. So it's kind of a long game for this team.
Yeah, the long game being played once more for Generators, whereas up until this point, they have been so close to finding the upset. And now, who knows, maybe third time is the charm, as we do have another map ahead of us, but obviously a break in our desk to break it down, so don't go anywhere.